Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Thursday, April 15th, 2021. A very big podcast today. We got NBA, NHL, Major League Baseball from yesterday. Look ahead to today's games. We will make a pick for the RBC Heritage and go over tee times and the current short leaderboard. My latest NFL mock draft, my WNBA mock draft with the draft being tonight, the latest news and notes. We'll recap last night's episode of The Masked Singer and my best bet of the day. All right, we're going to start with the NBA. We will go over the results from yesterday, and we will look ahead to today's game. I won't go in full detail of everything because we have a lot to do on the show. Bucks over the Timberwolves, 130-105. Cavs over the Hornets, 103-90. 76ers over the Nets, 123-117. That was without the big three, amazingly enough, for Brooklyn. Raptors over the Spurs, 117-112. Clippers over the Pistons, 198. Magic over the Bulls, 115-106. Knicks over the Pelicans, 116-106. Pacers over the Rockets, 132-124. Warriors over the Thunder, 147-109. Mavericks over the Grizzlies, 114-113 on a ridiculous buzzer beater 3 by Luka Doncic. Nuggets over the Heat, 123-106. And the Wizards over the Kings, 123-111. All right, only 4 games tonight. The first one, 7:30. The Bucks and the Hawks, no Giannis in this game, as well as no John Collins and no DeAndre Hunter. So a couple key players on each side are out for the night's game, but I still project the Bucks as a 2-point favorite with the total of 228. That's because it's not just the Giannis absence, but the John Collins absence matters here, and so does the Hunter absence. That's a combined worth 2 points for Atlanta, and that is including home court. And it's Bucks by 6.5. Maybe they think Giannis is back tonight, because that line is pretty low, in my opinion. So I'm taking the Hawks plus the 6.5. I'm not taking them straight up. I'm taking them to cover. I am very surprised that this line is this. But Trae Young missed the last game as well. So maybe that has Vegas doubting. Trae Young is worth 5 points. So this line would go to Bucks by 7 for me if that was the case. So at the moment, Trae Young's questionable, but if he was out, then my line's 7. But that's why the line is 6.5. They probably think that Trae Young's out. I would take the Hawks before Trae Young's announced active. 8 o'clock, you have the Warriors and the Cavaliers, a finals rematch. That isn't because of the absence of LeBron James. Cleveland, 7.5 total to 21, and I mean the absence in terms of the departure. So Golden State, 7.5 total to 21, and it's 8.5. We don't have a total yet. Meanwhile, the total for the Bucks-Hawks game just dropped out to 229. And that's about right. So, if the total for Warriors-Cavaliers is higher than 223, or I should say 223 or higher, I'll bet the under. And if it's 219 or lower, I'll bet the over. The nightcap of the TNT doubleheader at 10 o'clock, you have the Celtics and the Lakers. No LeBron, no AD. And the return of fans to the Staples Center. My line is Boston, 5 total to 19. Meanwhile, it's 6 and 211.5. I'm taking the over. I know no LeBron and AD, but the Laker offense has been okay without them. It stunk against the Knicks. I know that because the Knicks have a good defense. Charlotte's defense is worse because they don't have LaMelo and Gordon Hayward. Boston's defense, on the right night, it could be good. But why I like the over is because I think that Jason Tatum could go off here. And same for Jaylen Brown. So I'm going to go over to 11.5. I think that's kind of low. And also at 10 o'clock tonight, you have the Kings and the Suns. I'm at Suns 11, total 27.5. And that is accounting for the absence of Rashawn Holmes, who's been playing out of his mind for Sacramento. And it's Phoenix by 11.5. If the total is anything over 229, I'll take the under. And if it's anything lower than 226, I'll take the over. So that is a TBD selection for right now. All right, now we'll move on to the NHL. We will go over the games from last night, and we will look ahead to a busy window for tonight. Wild over the Coyotes 5-2. That was a matinee game because of the unrest going on in Minnesota. And that's another over for the Arizona Coyotes. Flames over the Canadiens 4-1. A good win for Calgary. Jets over the Senators 3-2. So there's an under. Avs over the Blues 4-3. Golden Knights over the Kings 6-2. And the Ducks over the Sharks 4-1. Kind of liked the Ducks last night, but didn't have the balls to pull the trigger. Big window tonight, 7 o'clock. A big game from Madison Square Garden between the Devils and the Rangers. The Rangers are big favorites. Minus 225. Devils are plus 188. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 138. Unders plus 112. Devils plus 1.5 is minus 150. Rangers minus 1.5 is plus 125. I think we're getting some value here at the under. I don't think the Devils will be a lethal offensive team anymore, but if the over happens, the Rangers will do it by themselves, which I don't think they will. I think this could be another 4-0, 4-1, 3-1 type of game. So I'm going to go under 5.5 at plus 112. Maybe I'd parlay that in Rangers in regulation. Islanders Bruins, a huge game from Boston. The Bruins are minus 126. The Islanders are plus 108. Over under 5.5. Overs plus 124. Unders minus 152. Islanders plus 1.5 is minus 295. The Bruins minus 1.5 is plus 235. I love the Islanders plus 108. The Bruins, I think, are a team that's been very fortunate to be where they are right now. They should be better because of the talent on their roster. But keep doubting the Islanders, Vegas. They're playing great. They have the better coach. Maybe the least of the two talented teams there, but they can absolutely win in Boston. Give me the Islanders plus 108 in Boston tonight. The Sabres and the Capitals. The Capitals are minus 335. Buffalo's plus 270. Over under 6.5. Overs plus 110. Unders minus 134. Buffalo plus 1.5 is minus 102. The Capitals minus 1.5 is minus 118. This is a hard one, but because of how competitive Buffalo has been lately, I'm going to take them plus 1.5 at minus 102. No, I do not think they'll win the game. I'm suggesting that the Capitals will win by a goal. So I'm taking a risky pick here at the Sabres, plus 1.5 at minus 102. The Predators and the Hurricanes. The Canes are minus 186. The Preds are plus 154. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Preds plus 1.5 is minus 184. Hurricanes minus 1.5 is plus 152. I'm going to take the Predators to cover the 1.5, but that won't be the pick. The pick's going to be over 5.5 at minus 115. The Predators hit their over against Tampa by themselves last night, but I think that the Preds will put up a lot of goals. I think the Canes can match them. So I'm going to go over 5.5 at minus 115. I think that can be done the second quarter or second period. NBCSN, the Panthers and the Lightning. Big game in that division with those two teams tied at the top along with Carolina. The The Lightning are minus 164. Florida's plus 138. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 138. Unders plus 112. Florida plus 1.5 is minus 188. Lightning minus 1.5 is plus 155. I'm going to go under 5.5 at plus 112. I like how Florida's goalie has been playing of late. And let's just assume it's Vasilevsky. So under 5.5 at plus 112. I think this is a 3-2 game either way. And I would not rule out the draw after 60 bet at plus 320. The Flyers and the Penguins, a huge game from Pittsburgh. The Penguins are minus 184. The Flyers are plus 154. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 112. Unders minus 108. The Flyers plus 1.5 is minus 176. The Penguins minus 1.5 is plus 146. The Penguins haven't playing great hockey lately. I think they can win this division. At the moment, they are 3-1 to win the East Division, which is pretty good. Although, they are, how many back of Washington? 4? Yes. Okay, that's doable for them. I'm going to go over 6.5 at minus 112. I thought about Pens in regulation, but I like the over better. Because I could see Philly being competitive in this game. So I'll go over 6.5 at minus 112. And I think Pittsburgh could potentially win this game like 5-3, maybe 5-4 in OT or something like that. The Jets and the Maple Leafs. The Leafs are minus 176. The Jets are plus 148. Over under 6.5. Overs minus 104. Unders minus 118. The Jets plus 1.5 is minus 184. The Maple Leafs minus 1.5 is plus 152. The Jets are 5 back of the Maple Leafs in the division, and they've had a habit of winning these games outright as a dog. So I'm going to take the Jets plus 148 as my underdog special of the night in hockey against the Maple Leafs at plus 148. 7:30, the Blackhawks and the Red Wings. The Blackhawks are minus 168. The Red Wings are plus 142. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 114. Unders minus 106. The Blackhawks minus 1.5 is plus 168. The Red Wings plus 1.5 is minus 205. I'm going to go Blackhawks in regulation at minus 105. I like how the Red Wings have been this feisty underdog of late, but at the same time, Chicago's just way more talented. So I'm taking the Blackhawks in regulation at minus 105. And 8:30, you have the Blue Jackets and the Stars. The Stars are ridiculous, minus 198. The Blue Jackets plus 166. Over under 5.5. Overs plus 124. Unders minus 152. Columbus plus 1.5 is minus 182. Dallas minus 1.5 is plus 150. I'm going to go over 5.5 at plus 124. I think that the Dallas offense could potentially have a get-right spot here. I think Columbus, even with the tradings of some of their guys, could put up a number against Dallas with Ben Bishop out for the year. I think that over 5.5 is in play at plus 124. And I think this could be a 4-2 final with the empty net putting it away. So going over 5.5 at plus 124. Now we'll move on to Major League Baseball. We will go over the results from yesterday, and we will look ahead to what I don't think is that busy of a slate for today. Double headers, but that's it. Nats over the Cardinals 6-0. Brewers over the Cubs 7-0. Royals over the Angels 6-1. Blue Jays over the Yankees 5-4. Red Sox over the Twins 3-2 and 7. By the way, Blue Jays won the Yankee game on a walk-off homer by Bo Bichette. Giants over the Reds 3-0. Red Sox over the Twins 7-1. Pirates over the Padres 5-1. Tigers over the Astros 6-4. Mets over the Phillies 5-1. Rangers over the Rays 5-1. Marlins over the Braves 6-5 and 10. White Sox over the Indians 8-0. Rockies lose against the Dodgers 4-2. Mariners Orioles postponed doubleheader today. All right, today's games at 12 o'clock. You have the Phillies and the Mets from Citi Field, as the Mets are going for the sweep. Jacob deGrom against Zach Eflin. The Mets are minus 230. The Phillies are plus 190. Over under 7. Overs minus 102. Or minus 112. Unders minus 108. The Phillies plus 1.5 is minus 118. The Mets minus 1.5 is minus 102. Are we going to have another LOL Mets situation where the Mets lose a DeGrom start and DeGrom gets no run support and the bullpen blows it? I don't know. But because of that in play, I'm going to go over 7 and minus 112 as the play. I think DeGrom will pitch well. The Met offense has been better. Maybe the Phillies put up some garbage time runs. We'll go over 7 and minus 112. 12:20, the Marlins and the Braves. Trevor Rogers and Ian Anderson. Braves are minus 172. The Marlins are plus 144. Over under 8. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Marlins plus 1.5 is minus 142. Braves minus 1.5 is plus 108. I'm going to go with this one. This is a tough one. Trevor Rogers this season, 1.8 ERA, has been fabulous. But I don't have the balls to go against the Braves in the full game. So I'm going Marlins first half at plus 134 just to play it safe. Rogers has been tremendous. Anderson's been disappointing. So I'm going to go Marlins first half at plus 134. 12:30, the Padres and the Pirates. Chris Paddock and Mitch Keller. Padres are minus 172. The Pirates are plus 144. Over under 8. Overs minus 108. Unders minus 112. The Padres minus 1.5 is plus 105. The Pirates plus 1.5 is minus 126. I'm going to go over 8. Mitch Keller really hasn't put it all together. And Chris Paddock, meanwhile, looks like the guy from last year rather than the guy from 2 years ago. So, over 8 at minus 108, I think is good. 1 o'clock, the Red Sox and the Twins. Garrett Richards and Michael Pineda. The Twins are minus 162. The Red Sox are plus 136. Over under 9. Overs even money. Unders minus 122. The Red Sox plus 1.5 is minus 152. The Twins minus 1.5 is plus 126. I love the over here. I know Michael Pineda has been awesome so far, but Michael Pineda, to me, is one of the more overrated pitchers in all of baseball. He's had some rocky history against the Red Sox in the past one from his Yankee days. Even though it's like a different Red Sox team, although some of the same suspects, Bogarts among them. Well, Bogarts is the only remaining suspect from the middle 2010 Red Sox squads. But anyway, over 9, I really like it, even money. I would actually sprinkle Red Sox a little bit, although Richards has been terrible this year. 2 o'clock, the Indians and the White Sox. Aaron Savali and Lance Lynn. White Sox minus 158. Indians are plus 134. Over under 8. Indians plus 1.5 is minus 162. White Sox minus 1.5 is plus 134. I'm going with the underdog Indians at plus 134. This is a letdown spot for the White Sox after the no-no. Savali's been great this year. I know Lynn is as well. But Savali's arguably been better than Lynn in a couple of metrics. So, I'm going to go Savali and the Indians straight up. Upset special today. Indians plus 134. White Sox have a letdown after the no-hitter. So, give me the Indians plus 134 in Chicago against the White Sox. We skipped the game. 12:30 doubleheader game 1. Mariners-Orioles. Marco Gonzalez and Matt Harvey both have been no good. I would certainly bet an over in that game. And 4 o'clock is game number 2 between those two same squads. Justin Dunn and Bruce Zimmerman. If anything, if the Mariners are a dog, I'm taking them. I like Justin Dunn. 7 o'clock, you have the Diamondbacks and the Nationals. Merrill Kelly and Patrick Corbin. The Nats are minus 172. The D-backs are plus 144. Over under 8. Overs minus 114. Unders minus 106. The Diamondbacks plus 1.5 is minus 146. The Nationals minus 1.5 is plus 122. Both of these pitchers have been terrible this season thus far. So I'm going to go over 8 at minus 114. Rangers-Rays. Jordan Lyles and Rich Hill. The Rays are minus 160 or 196. The Rangers are plus 164 over under 8.5. Overs minus 106. Unders minus 114. Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 130. The Rays minus 1.5 is plus 108. Neither of these pitchers have been great this year, although Rich Hill has some good metrics. This is a different one, but I'm going to go over 4.5 runs first half, minus 118. I think that the Rangers can get the hill a little bit. And I think that the Rays, there's a chance the Rays do it by themselves off of Lyles, though. 8 o'clock, you have the Blue Jays and the Royals. We have Jacob Junis. We don't know who's going for Toronto. No lines have been posted yet. It'll probably be TJ Zook going for the Blue Jays. Jacob Junis has been fabulous so far this year for Kansas City. So Toronto will probably open as a favorite. And if they do, I'm betting on the Royals. 9:40 of the Tigers and the A's. 3 scoop ball and Sean Manaea. The A's are minus 164. The Tigers are plus 138. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Tigers plus 1.5 is minus 146. The A's minus 1.5 is plus 122. Both of these pitchers have been terrible this season. I'm taking the over 8.5 and minus 105. I think both these teams will put up runs. Oakland's offense has been a lot better lately. And the Tigers' offense has been really, really promising a lot. Wilson Ramos has been good. Hammer Candelario has been good. But there's no bigger surprise than Akil Baddoo of the Tigers. And 10 o'clock, you have the Rockies and the Dodgers. Austin Gomber and Julio Urias. Both these guys have been great this year. Dodgers are minus 290. The Rockies are plus 235. Over under 8. Overs minus 106. Unders minus 114. Rockies plus 1.5 is plus 112. Dodgers minus 1.5 is minus 134. I'm going to go... Oh, we don't have the first half. You know what? I'm going to be very ballsy. I'm going to take the Rockies plus 235 straight up. I like Urias a lot, but I like Gomber a lot too. So, taking a shot here at the big dog, plus 235, with the promising Gomber on the mound against the big bad Dodgers. So there's my dart of the night, as you would call it. Now I'm going to talk about the Heritage Classic. I'm going to go over the current leaderboard at the moment. 3-way tie at top for first as it just got underway. Lucas Glover, Matt Wallace, and Tom Hogue at 2 under. A tie for fourth with 1 under. Danny Lee, Sanjay M, Austin Cook, Chase Seifert, Henry Higgs, and Camilo Villegas. A big tie for 10th at even. I'm just going to go through the notables at this point. Dylan McCarthy, Mark Hubbard, Russell Knox, Adam Landry, Richie Werenski, Ryan Werenski's of the Blue Jackets. Tied for 27th with 1 over, or 37th. I'm just going to do notables here. Actually, Mark Hubbard just dropped to 1 over. That's the only notable in there. Andrew Landry is 45th with 2 over. And that's it among the notables. Notable tee times. And by the way, Matt Wallace just broke through with the lead at 4 under. So, Michael Thompson's in the 8:28 window. 8:39 is Tommy Fleetwood, Harold Varner the third. The 8:50 window, KJ Choi. among others, Luke List. All right, then they have the break, and then it's 11:50. You have, among the notables, Christian Zeidenhout. 12:01, Adam Hadwin, Abraham Answer. The 12:12 window. Oh, you got Brian Stewart. 12:23, you got Brendan Todd, Jim Herman, Carlos Ortiz in there. 12:34, of Ian Poulter, C.T. Ponce, Shane Lowry. 12:45, Sebastian Munoz, Tyler Duncan, Cam Smith, Dylan Fratelli, Mackenzie Hughes, Kevin Na. 12:56, Paul Casey, Chester V, Webb Simpson, Corey Connors. 107, Colin Mariqua, Sergio Garcia, Patrick Cantlay. 118, Tyrell Hatton, Chris Kirk, Harry English, JT Potson. 129, Brandon Van Pelt, Doc Redman. 140, Henrik Norlander. 151, you got Tommy Gibson in there. So that's it among the notables for the RBC Heritage. And in my pick to win it, I got it at 30-1, Corey Connors. He really had an excellent Masters, finishing in 7th at 5 under. And I think that he won't have a hangover from that, and we will perform up the caliber at RBC Heritage and will come out with the win. And he is 30-1 to win this competition. All right. Now I'm going to do my NFL mock draft for this week. We are 2 weeks away from the NFL draft, which is going to be a lot of fun, as we know. So, without further ado, here we go, my 4th mock draft. Number 1, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence, quarterback, Clemson. If there wasn't any doubt, Lawrence is perhaps the best prospect since Peyton Manning. Urban Meyer in town. I think that he gets the guy he wants with Lawrence. And Lawrence could perhaps bring that franchise to heights it's never seen before. Number 2, the New York Jets. Zach Wilson, quarterback, BYU. This feels like a foregone conclusion at this point, as it doesn't feel like a smokescreen with Zach Wilson being the guy at number 2. And the Vegas odds reflect it as well. Number 3, the San Francisco 49ers from the Houston Texans via the Miami Dolphins. Mac Jones, quarterback, Alabama. So the 49ers move up to 3 here. Everyone, their brother, seems to think it's the Mac Jones. But I'm not totally convinced it's going to be Mac Jones, but he's the spot here for the time being. Number 4, the Atlanta Falcons. Trey Lance, quarterback, North Dakota State. I could see a world where the Falcons trade down and somebody trades up and Lance is the player selected here. Or the Falcons just take Lance to be their successor for Matt Ryan. I think Lance is the biggest wild card in the draft because of the unknown factor with North Dakota State and how we have not seen a lot of Lance over the past year. Number 5, the Cincinnati Bengals. Penny Sewell, offensive tackle, Oregon. I think this would be a great pick for the Bengals, who really need help protecting Joe Burrow after what happened last year. Burrow would certainly love this pick to be Jamar Chase, his former teammate from LSU, but no, I think that this will turn out to be the best lineman in the draft in Sewell. Number 6, the Miami Dolphins from the Philadelphia Eagles. Kyle Pitts, tight end, Florida. The Dolphins here turn out to be a winner from trading down the backup and landing arguably the best offensive weapon in this entire draft with Pitts. He's arguably the best tight end prospect to come out since Rob Gronkowski, and he and Mike Gesicki would be a nice duo for the Dolphins long term for Tua. Number 7, the Detroit Lions. Jamar Chase, wide receiver, LSU. This would be a huge steal for the Lions, who get a super-duper talented prospect in Chase and arguably the most talented one since ex-Lion Calvin Johnson. If the Lions were to avoid a major rebuild and keep Jared Goff, then a wide receiver should be the pick here. Number 8, the Carolina Panthers. J.C. Horn, cornerback, South Carolina. This is a pick where some may look at as a reach, but I am a big fan of Horn and is somebody that could come in and help the Panthers in their secondary. He would be yet another young asset to go with their young collection they have on defense. Number 9, the Denver Broncos, Justin Fields, quarterback, Ohio State. This pick could either be a slam dunk or a golden sombrero. And I mean that in terms of 3 strikeouts in the game. There are rumblings that Denver wants to move on from Drew Lock, and they did not land the quarterback in the offseason yet. So why not look in the draft if you're Denver and end up getting the guy who seemed like a lock for number 2 overall 6 months ago. Number 10, the Dallas Cowboys. Patrick Surtain III, cornerback, Alabama. The Cowboys should really go defense with this pick, considering that last year they went with CeeDee Lamb as Lamb fell to them, and the Cowboys just built a super offense that did not work last year because of the Dak Prescott injury. So here they land the blue chipper on defense with Surtain, in which the Cowboys would finally replace the departed Byron Jones. Number 11, the New York Giants. Rashawn Slater, offensive tackle, Northwestern. The Giants would conceivably go with the best player available with this pick, outside of quarterback and running back, obviously. Slater is somebody that's been getting a lot of pub due to some concerns about Sewell, to the point where there's speculation that Slater could go before Sewell, which I highly doubt. But this would be a good addition for the Giants' offensive line that's young and would only make it better. Number 12, the Philadelphia Eagles. From the San Francisco 49ers via the Miami Dolphins, Devontae Smith, wide receiver, Alabama. This would be a major steal for the Eagles, who really need a wide receiver after the releases of Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey. And it would be cool to have teammates reunite here with Smith and Jalen Hurts. 13, Los Angeles Chargers. Jalen Waddle, wide receiver, Alabama. This would be a major steal for the Chargers, who have some options with this pick. Waddle and Keenan Allen would be a fantastic duo for Justin Herbert. Number 14, the Minnesota Vikings. Elijah Vera Tucker, guard, USC. So the Vikings go with the guard here in Vera Tucker, who is super versatile, can play anywhere on the offensive line. And the Vikings, I think, need some youth on that line after some guys have not really panned out or just regressed. And they obviously lost some guys in free agency as well. Number 15, the New England Patriots. Micah Parsons, linebacker, Penn State. I think Parsons is the best defensive player in this draft. And I think would have been a top 5 pick had he not opted out last year, which hurt his stock. Parsons would be a great add to Bill Belichick's defense. Number 16, the Arizona Cardinals. Caleb Farley, cornerback, Virginia. This would be a tremendous selection by the Cardinals, who get a possible steal here. They need to replace Patrick Peterson somehow, and I think that Farley could help that cause. 17, Las Vegas Raiders. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, linebacker, Notre Dame. This would be a good pick for the Raiders as they get a selection of need. He'll provide what Gus Bradley wants in his defense with his speed, his athleticism, and his cover ability. 18, Miami Dolphins. Kwity Paye, defensive end, Michigan. Snagging Paye with this pick could end up being a steal for the Dolphins. Paye is someone that was a steady player under Jim Harbaugh in college, and he'll certainly come and help the Dolphins pass rush perhaps sooner rather than later. 19, the Washington professional football team. Christian Darrisaw, offensive tackle, Virginia Tech. This would be a good pick by the football team as they need reinforcements on the offensive line. Darrisaw is someone that is versatile and would be a great asset for Ryan Fitzpatrick or whomever is at quarterback. 20, the Chicago Bears. Kadarius Toney, wide receiver, Florida. Toney is someone that his stock is rising with 2 weeks to go until the draft. Toney was overshadowed due to the presence of Kyle Pitts and Dan Mullen's offense, but he has potential and would certainly help the Bears' offense. Number 21, the Indianapolis Colts. Azeez Ojulari, defensive end, outside linebacker, Georgia. This would be a nice pick for the Colts as they come away with the potential building block on defense. The Colts pass rush could use some youth to go with the veterans they have on that unit. Number 22, the Tennessee Titans. Tyson Campbell, cornerback, Georgia. The Titans can go in a number of ways with this pick, and here I have them going with the cornerback and Campbell. Corner is a position of need with the loss of Adoree Jackson and the cut of Malcolm Butler. And Campbell is someone that can come in and have an impact immediately. 23, the New York Jets from the Seattle Seahawks. Tevin Jenkins, offensive tackle, Oklahoma State. Jenkins is one of the fastest risers as the draft is a few weeks away. Assuming Zach Wilson is picked second, the Jets land Wilson a much-needed protection to go with last year's first rounder, Mekhi Becton. 24, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Najee Harris, running back, Alabama. This pick seems like a possibility with Kevin Colbert potentially going for it. That one last hurrah with Ben Roethlisberger on an expiring contract. Harris was a stud in college, and he would be an upgrade over the departed James Conner on the offense. Number 25, the Jacksonville Jaguars from the Los Angeles Rams. Christian Barmore, defensive tackle, Alabama. The Jaguars would get a potential steal here with Barmore, who is projected as high as 10th to Dallas in some mock drafts. Barmore would be just another young asset added to the collection the Jags have on their defense, including fellow defensive lineman Josh Allen and K'Lavon Chasen. 26, the Cleveland Browns. Jalen Phillips, defensive end, Miami. The Browns landing Phillips here would be a steal at this point, as some mocks had Phillips going as high as 11th to the Giants. Despite adding Jadeveon Clowney recently, he has not been healthy a lot recently and doesn't always perform to expectation, so Phillips here makes sense. 27, the Baltimore Ravens. Jason Oweh, defensive end, outside linebacker, Penn State. The Ravens have some options here with this pick. Oweh makes a lot of sense as they need pass rush to replace the departed Yannick Ngakoue and Matt Judon. Oweh was overshadowed on James Franklin's defense due to the presence of Micah Parsons, as Oweh was a great player as well. 28, the New Orleans Saints. Trayvon Moehrig, safety, TCU. The Saints have some options with this pick, and here I have them taking the talented safety in Moehrig. His play, I felt, was underrated in college due to being in the Big 12, and he'd be a good match with Marcus Williams as the safety duo in that secondary. 29, the Green Bay Packers. Greg Newsome, cornerback, Northwestern. This would be a solid selection for the Packers as they have options with this pick. Newsome, along with Kevin King and Jair Alexander, would be a nice trio in that secondary. Number 30, the Buffalo Bills. Travis Etienne, running back, Clemson. The Bills have options with this pick, and here I have them selecting the talented back in Etienne. The Bills do have a lot at this position, but Etienne would be great security for Josh Allen and that offense, similar to his role with Trevor Lawrence and the Clemson offense. Number 31, the Kansas City Chiefs. Jalen Mayfield, offensive tackle, Michigan. This pick would make all the sense in the world given the need of offensive line help with the releases of Eric Fisher and Mitchell Schwartz. Mayfield shows some great promise against tough Big Ten opponents and would bring what the Chiefs lacked in the Super Bowl. 32, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Alex Leatherwood, offensive tackle, Alabama. Washington has some options here, and I think a trade down Tampa has some options here, and I think a trade down would be potentially in play. Weatherwood would be a solid pick here for the Bucks, whom have 0 holes on their roster and are just going for depth pieces at this point. All right, now we will do the WNBA mock draft, which the WNBA draft will be held tonight virtually for the second consecutive season, as the draft coverage will be on ESPN, hosted by Ryan Rucco and Rebecca Lobo. So without further ado, my WNBA mock draft. And it's only the first round. Number 1, the Dallas Wings from the New York Liberty. Charlie Collier, center, Texas. Collier is the consensus choice to go first overall as the draft approaches. She is a double-double machine and would be a nice building block for the Wings going forward. Number 2, the Dallas Wings. Awak Kuyer, power forward, Finland. The Wings complete their future front court here with this selection of the finished product. Kuyer's success has gone under the radar due to being overseas, but she really has the potential of being a star as she's been compared to Candace Parker. Number 3, the Atlanta Dream. Arella Gorantes, shooting guard, Rutgers. Gorantes is the best Lady Knights player to be drafted in some time, and she would be a great pick here. Her scoring is what she's known for, but her all-around game is what makes her a highly regarded prospect coming into the draft. Number 4, the Indiana Fever. Renia Davis, small forward, Tennessee. This would be a solid pick for the Fever, who are still in that building stage. Davis has a solid two-way game, but she must improve on her three-point shooting if she is to be a top option on a good team. Number 5, the Dallas Wings from the Washington Mystics. Ari McDonald, point guard, Arizona. Arguably the best player in the NCAA tournament, the Wings land her with this selection. It would not shock me if Dallas took her second or if someone trades up to grab her at some point in the draft, but McDonald would be a nice add to this young asset collection the Wings would now have. Number 6, the New York Liberty from the Connecticut Sun. Dana Evans, point guard, Louisville. Evans is someone I feel is now under the radar with the flashes Ari McDonald showed in the tournament and with some of the other prospects rising too. Evans and Sabrina Ionescu would be a nice backcourt in New York. Number 7, the Los Angeles Sparks from the Chicago Sky via the Dallas Wings. Michaela Onyenwar, small forward, UCLA. With the loss of Candace Parker, the Sparks now have to replace her somehow. They still have some talent on their roster, and Onyenwar would replace some of Parker's scoring and bring some defensive versatility. Number 8, the Chicago Sky from the Phoenix Mercury. Kiana Williams, point guard, Stanford. Williams is yet another talented point guard slated to go in the first round. Williams would make a nice backcourt duo to go with Courtney Vandersloot, as she is someone with good three-point shooting ability, although she could back up Vandersloot as well. 9, Minnesota Lynx, Natasha Mack, power forward, Oklahoma State. The Lynx have some options here at this pick. Mack is someone that was a double-double machine in college and is great at protecting the rim as well. Number 10, the Los Angeles Sparks. Chelsea Dungy, shooting guard, Arkansas. The Sparks get a great scorer here in Dungy, who can help replace some scoring lost with Candace Parker out on the floor. She does need to work on a weakness of hers, which is turning the ball over more than recording assists. 11, Seattle Storm. Dejanay Carrington, shooting guard, Baylor. The Storm really don't have any huge needs necessarily, but they get a good bench piece here with Carrington. With the loss of Alicia Clark in free agency, Carrington can replace that defensive presence and also add a little bit of scoring. Number 12, the Las Vegas Aces. Jasmine Walker, power forward, Alabama. This would be a nice pick for the Aces, who really don't need much. She has some good length and could shoot it from 3 and would be a nice stretch for the Aces. So there you have it, my WNBA mock draft for 2021. Now I'm going to go over the latest news and notes. I'm going to try to be very, very quickly here with this segment for today. Obviously, Luka Doncic hits the game winner, and every NBA star, from LeBron to Dame, among others, were all in awe of one Luka Doncic. Obviously, Carlos Rodon threw the no-hitter last night, which was amazing, and allowed the base runner to reach the first one on a hit by pitch with one out in the ninth. Scott Drew turned down a custom Jeep as he refused to accept a promotional vehicle after the car dealer's insensitive remark on TV. Pete Rose is joining a pick-selling website where he would make daily predictions about baseball and other sports. I don't know how that happened, but here we are, Pete Rose on a gambling show. I just think that's funny, considering all that went down in his past. Free agent outfielder Yasiel Puig denies accusations in sexual assault lawsuit, saying that they are false and malicious. This could be another Deshaun Watson situation we have on our hands here with Puig. And speaking of Watson, women and men lawsuits to Watson to disclose names. One plaintiff withdraws suit for now. So if more information comes out, we'll obviously talk about it. A couple college basketball hirings. Cincinnati hiring UNC Greensboro head coach Wes Miller. Replacing their coach that got in trouble. I think Wes Miller would do a good job at Cincinnati and put them back to where they belong. And Arizona hires longtime Mark Few assistant Tommy Lloyd to be their new head coach. I think this is an inspiring choice. I think Lloyd has been a great assistant under Mark Few the last couple years with Gonzaga. So I actually like that hire. JT Miller says he doesn't feel safe as the Canucks star. Says that the NHL created an unsafe environment by wanting teams to play compressed schedule in return from COVID-19. I know every player's going to have a different opinion to this, but they really don't want teams' games to be canceled outright rather than to postpone them. So we'll see how this Canucks thing plays out, and they're supposed to return to action tomorrow night. NBA general managers are concerned with injuries as several GMs, team health officials fear player health has reached a boiling point with compressed season. James Weissman to have right knee surgery either Thursday or Friday. No timetable for his return. He's out for the season, as we talked about. I alluded to this in the WNBA mock draft as the Wings give the Sparks their 7th overall and 2022 second-round pick for a 2022 first-round pick in the next year's draft. The Denver Nuggets and Austin Rivers are nearing a deal. That would be a good bench piece for them. 5 Astros on the injured list. Yordan Alvarez, Jose Altuve, Alex Bregman, Robel Garcia, Martin Maldonado on the injured list due to health and safety protocols. So, one of them or all of them might have COVID. If all of them did, then Detroit and Houston wouldn't be playing right now. But it looks like that they just had close contact. Jadeveon Clowney signs with the Browns. I alluded to that in the NFL mock draft segment. 1-year deal, $8 million with $2 million in incentives. I'm not the biggest Clowney fan anymore. He's somebody that really hasn't lived up to expectations. And the last time he played a full season was 2017. A couple big injuries for the Dallas Stars. Ben Bishop and Alexander Radulov. Ben Bishop hasn't even played all season. And Radulov, season-ending surgery. So, big losses for the Dallas Stars. Obviously, big underachievers this year, but that's more because of their COVID pause and that storm they had. That really screwed over their season, and that's a team that will probably bounce back next season when the divisions are hopefully back to normal. And there aren't that many COVID issues, as I think most people and most athletes would be vaccinated by then. And one more news item, Jack Eichel out for the season, as he'll have surgery soon and be ready for next year. And I think next year he's going to be on another team, quite frankly. And I think it could very well be the New York Rangers. It could very well be the Chicago Blackhawks. It's going to be somebody, but it could be the Red Wings if they decide to turn into a win-now team. But I don't think Jack Eichel will be on the Buffalo Sabres next year, as he is recovering from his surgery. All right, now I'm going to recap last night's episode of The Masked Singer very quickly. I'm not going to go over the judges' guesses. I'm just going to go over what each contestant sang. I'm going to go over the judges' final guesses for whom got unmasked, though. But I'll go over my picks for the contestants, but not the judges' picks, except for who gets unmasked. All right, Russian Dolls. They're obviously a group that was together and then was apart and in return. A big clue in this one was that they performed at the White House. They performed a song by Jason Derulo, Want to Want Me. What was confusing is that 3 of the Russian dolls are moving around, and then there was this random Russian doll in the background. So I do think there's a date for Russian dolls, and I have a new guess. I think it's the Black Eyed Peas. I think there's a female in this group, and that female could very well be Fergie, who has guested in the past on The Masked Singer. And one of the big hints was not Glamorous. Glamorous was a song by Fergie. Robopine is somebody that's been motivated. There's an MM in the clue package, and then that last time flipped to a W. There's a referee in there. Maybe that's a football reference. Maybe this person performed in the halftime show. There's a dollar bill. There's a castle as well. And this person performed Killing Me Softly. I think this is still Stevie Wonder. And one of the big clues of the episode was the cannon clue. And everybody got a cannon clue with the return of Nick Cannon in last night's episode. Nick shot out a t-shirt in the cannon. And Robopine's t-shirt said AKA. So this is somebody that goes by their stage name. And obviously Stevie Wonder was not born Stevie Wonder. So that makes me feel a little bit better about my guess. Seashell, there was a wedding cake. It was very shopping themed. There were strength supplement bottles. And she performed Tell Me Something Good by Rufus featuring Shaka Khan. And the cannon said Motown. This could very well be somebody from Detroit. I said Kelly Rowland the last couple weeks, but I'm not really sure who this is. I'm very stumped on Seashell. Then came out Orca. There is a show, an aquarium, a $3 bill. Mentions the passing of his father. There's Swedish Fish. And hinted at 2 small kids. And he performed Every Rose Has Its Thorn by Poison. And his 2 big hint that he revealed is that he has 10-year-old twins. And my guess for Orca, Chad Kroger. And then the wild card contestant was the Yeti. This is somebody that is a wild force There are mountains in the clue package, an igloo, somebody that loved women. There's a kitchen, a heart, birthday, peanut butter and jelly sandwich was in there. And this person performed If It Isn't Love. I don't know who the Yeti is, but this is somebody that's super duper talented, and that voice sounds so familiar. But who goes home? The Orca, which obviously was the weakest one. Not that Orca was bad. It's just that this group is absolutely fantastic. And somebody had to go home. And it wanted to be an Orca, and it should have been Orca. My first impression guess was David Hasselhoff. And I guessed him because there's a lot of, ocean stuff in the clue packages. So I thought about David Hasselhoff. And my final guess was Chad Kroeger of Nickelback. Jenny McCarthy's first impression guess was Dave Grohl. Her final guess was Kelly Slater. Nicole Scherzinger's first impression guess was Dave Grohl. And that was her final guess as well. Robin Thicke's first impression guess was Billy Joe Armstrong, and that was his final guess as well. Ken Jeong's first impression guess was John Bon Jovi. I don't know what that was. And his final guess was Billy Joe Armstrong. And by the way, I thought about pulling the trigger of Billy Joe Armstrong for my final guess because I was getting Green Day vibes. But I went with Nickelback instead. But who was it? We were all wrong. It was Mark McGrath of Sugar Ray. It's a good get for the Mass franchise. McGrath is really talented, and obviously, one of Sugar Ray's big songs is I Just Wanna Fly. And Sugar Ray was a really big band in the 90s. As Fly, one of their big hits, I Just Want to Fly, as I just alluded to, Sugar Ray and Supercat. And Mark McGrath's really talented, and I thought he did a great job, but he was just the weakest one of Group A, and that's saying something, because Group A is a very, very strong group with the addition of Yeti there. And we have a very strong Super 8. Yeti, Seashell, Robopine, the Russian Dolls, Black Swan, Piglet, Crab, and Chameleon. That is a really strong group, and obviously I'll make my predictions of who goes home on next week's episode on next Wednesday's podcast. All right, now my best bet of the day, brought to you by FanDuel. Another hard call in terms of a best bet. And there was one that I was thinking about pulling the trigger on for best bet. And I'm going to go over 8.5 of the juice number here with the Twins and the Red Sox. I'm going to bet 2 units, over 8.5, Red Sox Twins, best bet of the day, with that pitching matchup of Garrett Richards and Michael Pineda. I think there will be a lot of runs in that game. All right, so that's it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping yesterday's NBA, NHL, and MLB games, looking ahead to tomorrow's games, NASCAR and golf as well, NHL power rankings, and my best bet of the day, obviously, as well as news and notes. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.